نبينا محمد عبده ورسوله أرواحنا وأرواح آبائنا وأمهاتنا فداه صلى الله تبارك وتعالى عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذرياته وأهل بيته أليكسيا ताली में आ गई नारे तकबीर सल्लल्लाहु तबारक व तआला अलैहि व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि व अज़वाजिहि व ज़ुर्रिय्यातिहि व अहलि बैतिहि व अला कुल्लि मन इत्तबअहुम बि इहसानिन इला यौमिद्दीन व अलैना मअहुम अजमईन अम्मा बाद English My respected sisters and brothers who are sitting in front of me, Alhamdulillah, I think the vast majority of the sisters gathered here today, if not all, and all the brothers gathered here today, are out in the path of Allah or have been out in the path of Allah at some point. And if, whether you're a first timer or whether you're a long timer, if you have spent your time well, then you will agree with this statement, which I will repeat in front of you, which I heard from an elder when he described the effort of tabligh in his own words. He said, in this day and age, in the 21st century, the work of tabligh is like a portal which transports us from our filthy lives, consumeristic lives, materialistic lives, to a celestial realm and a different world of spirituality. If you brothers and sisters, if you spent your time well since Friday, you will understand where he was coming from. That when we are at home, we are saturated in the dunya, always thinking about dunya, talking about dunya, fashion, clothes, business, money, PS, money, afterthought, money, paisu, dreaming about, guess what, money, all the time, money, and we're just living our lives like that. And then a person goes out in the path of Allah, in the case of a man or a boy, 5 minutes ago you had all the world's problems and stresses on your head. You come to the masjid and the satis haven't arrived yet, and you're waiting for them, and you decide to pray 2 rakats, and you pray 2 rakats nafil namaz, and you feel like you're in the gardens of paradise. You lift your hands up for dua, and all of a sudden you feel like you're talking to your best friend, and he's listening to you and he's fully focused towards you. You come out in the path of Allah at home, for men and for women. Fajr namaz was a struggle. For some people it was hit and miss. For some people it was I only do that on weekends. Now you're in the path of Allah, all of a sudden you're waking up for tahajjud namaz. Allahu Akbar. You're crying in your sizdah. You're talking to Allah. You feel a bond with Allah. And more than the men, the women are feeling it, because the women, Allah Ta'ala have gifted them with softer hearts and a more of a loving nature, due to which our sisters, when they make an attempt and an effort, they recognize Allah and they bond with Allah better than us guys. So this is what the elder meant when he said it's like a magical portal. You're still in Lancashire, you're still in Greater Manchester, you've only gone from one town to another, you're still on earth, you're still in England. It's the same climate, same weather, same month, same week. And yet you are a different person, and the world you're walking in and you're living in is a different world. But unfortunately, sisters and brothers, that world for you is going to come to an end tonight, because we're going to go back home. But it gives us a taste of what life really should be and what the pleasures of life really are. For us, what's life? What's the pleasures of life? Like I said, paisu, and a bit more paisu on the side, and your halmi mazid. Burgers, milkshakes, masala dosas, tofu, what do you call it? Sushi, Dubai, Malaysia, yeah, handbags, shopping, sales, sofas, extension, decoration, vacation. That's a do all and end all of all our aspirations. Forgive me for saying this, but I'm just being honest with you. I'm just describing my life to you. But we come out in the path of Allah, we realize Sitaro se aage jahan aur bhi hai. There's another world. We're not supposed to be like that. You come out in the path of Allah, if we spend our time well, if you sisters have come and you've left your phones at home, and if you haven't, send me a note afterwards and I'll tell these guys off that how dare they not tell you that. One youngster from our masjid, 19-year-old I think he is, he's just come back from 4 months and he spent 4 months without his phone. Why? Because we told him. That's what we do, that's what you'll do. And that's what you sisters should have done, inshallah, you will have done. And if you did, then you've immersed yourself in this spiritual experience. And you're a changed person. And your eyes are flowing, your heart is melting, and you're thinking, what do I have to do with the dunya? Ketlu jiwana hu, ketlu kamawana, ketlu khawana, ketlu pesu jama karwana. What's the point? You'll be asking yourself. If you are, you're on a good one. Alhamdulillah. If you're not, then come out in Jama'ah again and leave your phone and spend your time well. But I'm sure, I'm pretty certain all you sisters are relating to what I'm saying. Maybe not the brothers, but you sisters, inshallah, I'm fully hopeful, confident that you're relating to what I'm saying. That when we were at home, we were thinking that accumulating the dunya, everyone going out earning, women going to work, displaying your beauty to the dunya, bepardagi, discarding namaz, men working all hours, men just praying Jummah namaz, yeah, and hankering after the dunya. We thought that's normal behavior. And if your granddad or grandma one day told you, Allah hunkaraj, Ali hunkaraj, we thought they were backward. Tamane hunkabar. English na thikana thi. Yeah? Born and bred here. Went to school here. Amune khabar the tamane radio ni. We were thinking they're backwards. Yeah? A guy or a girl is telling his grandma or her grandma, who pansuro thoka karaj. Pansuro ta phati gyo tame, who Yasin Sharif para karaj. Who Allah Allah kara karaj. Or if we've not said it, we've thought it. Guaranteed. If you're human like me, and you're as young as I am, what are you laughing at, guys? God sorry. Yeah? And you live in the world, and you've been to school here and university, we think that. We think, Allah, what's these guys on? How backward are they? But now we come out in the path of Allah, we realize that, no. We were in the wrong. That whole life, that whole mindset, our whole household, our whole schedule, our whole tartib, my whole life, it's been a lie. It's wrong. Why? Because I've been sitting in Talim without my phone and I've been hearing about true stars. You know, nowadays they talk about stars. Football stars, pop stars, they use the word stars. Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used the word stars more than 1400 years ago. And that word appealed to people so much, they still use it now. Pop stars and film stars. People who we look up to. And yet the real stars were the ones that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned. And he wasn't just talking about men. He talking about the galaxy of Sahaba. He's talking about Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha, and Sumayya radiallahu ta'ala anha, and Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, and all the women, young and old, and the men. They were real people. They lived on the earth, but the angels envied them in the heavens. We live on the earth, and the shaitans in Jahannam sometimes, they feel ashamed. Okay, these guys left me for dead. That's how much we've drifted, brothers and sisters. Forgive me. You know me, I get invited for bayans, but you know, I don't get the recall. I used to wonder why, now I know why. Huh? I was just telling somebody this morning, okay, one place, the girls' madrasa, they called me. They've never called me back. But I said, wait, I'm telling you as it is. Why? Because I care for myself, I care for you. You sisters, I know I've heard some of you sisters come out for the first time. So you've come out from that lie. Your life is, I'm sure you're very young. Yeah? But that's the first time in 20 years that you've come out of that lie. And what a travesty that nobody's taken me out of that lie before and shown me, okay, look, this is a life as well. One is your life, and this is real life. The Sahaba Kiram, about them, we use a phrase which we've heard from the elders. The Sahaba Kiram, about them, the elders say, Sahaba Kiram jeete ji jannat ka maza pa rahe the. The Sahaba Kiram were living on earth and they were smelling the fragrance of paradise and they were tasting the pleasures of paradise when they were still mortal souls on the earth. And not just the men, the women as well. Khansa radiyallahu ta'ala anha, she was tied up because she became a Muslimah in the desert. They tied her to a pole and they all went to sleep and she talked to Allah. Imagine her connection with Allah. New Muslimah. And she talked to Allah. Allah sent her a bucket hung down from the heavens. Science can't explain that. She said, I saw a rope hanging out of nowhere and a bucket came down. And there was water in there, cold, fresh, refreshing, sweet as I've never tasted. And I drank from it so much, I tipped it. And I drank from it and it was so refreshing that I just kept on tipping it. And I poured some of it onto my body. And then when my captives, they woke up, they're thinking that we've killed her, exposed her to the sun, tied her in the desert. She will have been dead. But when they got up, they found that she was rejuvenated. She was fresher than she was more alive than she was before. And then they saw her wet clothes and they said, what have you done? Who gave you water? We don't have any water. We've only got a little bit and we've checked our water bottles. We said, who gave you water in this wilderness? She goes, my Allah. I asked him, he delivered. Because she was a woman of Allah. And brothers and sisters, we're made from the same material as them. We're humans, they're humans. But the difference between them and us is the mindset. We're Muslims, they're Muslims. Mu'mina, mu'mina. Humans, blood running through their veins, blood running through our veins. But what's changed is the conviction of the hearts and the mindset, due to which our women, our men on a daily basis, dunya, pesu. Women, Saturday, shopping, gotta go shopping. I remember I was a kid and me and my brother who's here now, we were sitting at home, we were teenagers sitting at home and a guy came from Preston, we were in Bolton. Yeah, Farooq Bhai, hope you're offended. Yeah. He walked into our house, yeah, this guy from Preston, he goes, Assalamu alaikum, Tami yahuka, that's what you doing here? I said, we live here. He goes, didn't you go town? I said, no, why? What's up? There's a circus or something, come to town. He goes, did you not go town? It's Saturday. I said, no. He said, everyone goes town Saturday. Everyone goes. I said, well, I go once a year, mate. And now I go once every 10 years. Alhamdulillah. Why? Because Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, person who sets off to the masjid, to Jamaat, to Talim Halaqas, he or she is flying the flag of Allah, of Islam. And a person who goes to the marketplace is Dean Road now. Yeah? Not very good, but Derby Street. Yeah? That's the town centre now, isn't it? All our shops, all our streets have become. You go in there every morning, you go into work, you're flying the banner of Shaitan. We were never supposed to be representatives of Shaitan. We're descendants of, our sisters are descendants of Ma'aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha, Khadija radiyallahu ta'ala anha, Fatima radiyallahu ta'ala. They were our role models for our mothers and sisters. Who have we made our role models? Who are our stars? And for our men, Abu Bakr radiyallahu, Umar radiyallahu, Uthman radiyallahu, Ali radiyallahu, and a galaxy of Sahaba. They were our role models. They were the ones we were supposed to follow. But who have we followed? What mindset have we adopted from them? It's gone crazy. And when someone, a nutter like me, comes along, people nod their heads, yeah, nutter. I'm the nutter, for speaking sense. Your granddad's a nutter for talking sense. ના બેટી આપણે એવું નહીં કરીએ, બેટા આપણે એવું નહીં કરીએ, તમને શું ખબર, રહેવા દો. And you think, oh, forget him. Sometimes, you go to a wedding and you're sitting with the Haji Sahib, whose granddaughter, grandson's getting married, yeah? And the next thing, music and the dancers come on, and you don't know where to look. And you look at Haji Sahib, and he, like with the expression, yeah, of, shock, and he looks at you the same way. And you're like, Haji Sahib, I? He goes, huh? He's as shocked as you are. And then he says, Haji Sahib, tamara gharni shadi nahi? He goes, Mauli Sahib, you didn't know. I didn't know as well. Why? Because the women planned it, and because they think it's backward, they hid it. And they think they're dead clever. Oh, don't tell Dada, don't tell Nana. Bohusyar. These are people of Allah, living amongst you in your family. Your mom's a waliya of Allah, your grandma's a waliya of Allah, and you're thinking they're backward? If we continue like this, eventually, Allah forbid, we'll start thinking the Sahaba Kiram were backward. About one of the wives of Sahaba of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is written in Fazail Amal, if you've done Talim properly. So many of our brothers don't know this riwayat, because they don't do Talim properly. Bilal bin Rabah radiyallahu story, Taif story, Betor story, Talim take. No. In Fazail Amal, you know there's a story. It's written about her, one of the wives of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Somebody saw her and somebody has narrated this. Now sisters and brothers, think this about yourself. When I'm gone, Allah Ta'ala grant you barakat in your lives, and Allah Ta'ala grant me barakat in my life. That second Ameen was quieter than the first, but chalo, we'll overlook that. Yeah. When you and I are gone and when we're dust, what will people say about us? For many of us, people say, oh yeah, she was a shopaholic. She loved the shopping. Yeah. Somebody will say, oh, he loved his burgers. Is that what I be recognized as? I never saw him without the phone in his hand. Is that what I want to be known as? And a wife of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, look at this, such simple words, but just ponder upon that. How is she being remembered even 1500 years later? The people who saw her, many people narrated, we only saw her doing two things. Either she was engaged in nawafil, and the second thing is even more amazing, or she was seen doing miswak. We people don't do miswak. Our women don't do miswak. Not to say you got bad breath, but yeah, mashallah, I'm sure you do use toothpaste, isn't it? But we tend to think, oh, miswak is men's sunnat. No, but it's women's sunnat as well. We don't do miswak for a start, and when we do, we just do it like barakati, yeah? And then we spend 10 minutes with the toothbrush and the electric toothbrush and the flossing and all that, yeah? She loved Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam so much, due to which she loved his sunnat so much, that she used to spend hours doing miswak. Not because she had bad teeth or bad breath, but because she knew that as long as I'm doing miswak, Allah is loving me, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is loving me, I'm getting closer and closer. Compared to that, to what people say about me and you, which tells us that we've drifted. There was a king, just to lighten things up more, otherwise you'll say, even you sisters will say, you'll tell your husbands off, okay, next time don't bring that nutter, who the heck is he? Good news for you sisters, I'm from Bolton. And you see, before you sisters, Preston sisters start high-fiving each other's, I was born in Preston, originally Prestonian. There was a king, and he got an infection in his nose. So the physicians realized that the infections, he's got worms coming out of his nose, little maggots. So they realized that we're going to have to amputate his nose, otherwise they're going to eat up to his brain, they're going to kill him. So reluctantly the king agreed, because it was a decision of all the physicians. So now the king is noseless. And you can imagine, he looks like a freak. When they take his bandages off, when they give him the mirror, first of all they say, oh, Your Royal Highness, have you had anything done? No, you can't even tell. You're as handsome as ever. Chamchas, they're like, oh no. And he's like, no, do I look different? No, Your Royal Highness, you're as beautiful, you're as handsome as ever, anything. When they give him a mirror, he screams. Yeah? And he knows, Allah Qasam, I'm a freak. I'm an oddbod. They said, no, Your Royal Highness. So anyway, then when they have the royal court and when they invite the locals, so now the king is really embarrassed and reluctant to sit on the throne. But they said, Your Royal Highness, no one's going to even notice. And what they did secretly is they briefed the whole population. They sent out flyers that, look, the king looks a bit different, but if any of you dares, laughs or sniggers or does a double take, it's off with your head. So make sure you behave and you don't make it obvious. So all the parents tell their kids as well. So they go along and everyone's trying to act normal, like, nothing's gone on. But everyone's like, inside they think, what the hell, what a freak. And kids are kids. Yeah. Kids say it as it is. Yeah. The emperor's got no clothes kind of story. Yeah. So one of the kids, he goes, Allah, look at him. What a freak. He got no nose. So everyone's like sitting on the kid. Yeah. Shut him up. So the king heard it. And the king called all the courtiers, the physicians, and he said, listen, I noticed today, people, he said, no one laughed. No, I know I'm a freak, I'm an oddbod. Do something about it. Yeah, do something about it. How can I be the king of the kingdom and I'm the laughing stock? How can I be the freak? So in those days, they didn't have plastic surgery. So they had long consultations, and eventually the physicians came to a decision, we'll make a nose out of gold, and we'll attach that. So they did that, and they attached that to the king's head. Obviously, still he looks like a freak. And they're telling him, no, your sun beams like the sun, and your face beams like the sun, and all that. You look handsome and everything. So they have the royal court again, and again some kid, he does chippy-dee-doo, like, laughing. So the king, he's like, no, he calls the courtiers again. Listen, you're going to have to sort this problem out. I'm the laughing stock. You're going to have to do something. Otherwise, off with your heads. So the physicians, they call a meeting. They say, well, what do we do? What do we do? So eventually, they realize, they break the whole thing down, and they realize that the reason why the king is a laughing stock is because he's the oddbod. He's the odd one out. So the solution to the problem is we're all going to have to get rid of our noses. Then no one's going to be odd. So they tell the king agrees, royal dictate is given, and they put you out there, cut off your nose within 3 days, otherwise you get imprisoned, and we'll cut off your nose anyway and you'll get fined and all that. So eventually everyone chops off their noses. Right? So what happens for the few days, people meet each other and say, look at you. And he goes, look at your own face. And everyone's laughing at each other, everyone's embarrassed, and the women won't go out, and everyone's laughing at each other and looking in the mirror and getting shocked and everything. But eventually what happens is, now when they have the royal court, because eventually over time people get used to it. Being noseless is now the norm. So when they have the royal court now, the king can happily sit on the throne. Nobody's going to laugh at him because he is what we are and we are what he is. Yeah. But you and I know, sisters, that in reality, they're all oddbods. Yeah. But over the years now, it becomes a norm to be noseless. And they're not freaks anymore. A few years after that, a person from a neighboring kingdom comes into that kingdom of the noseless. He comes in and he's asking for directions, meets the first person, he goes, excuse me, can you, Allah, look at you, and he starts laughing. Yeah? You not got a nose, Allah Kasamti. So what does that noseless guy do? He looks at him, he goes, look at yourself, you got a growth on your face, and he starts laughing at him. And this guy is scratching his head, goes, no, I'm normal. He goes, no, you're not, you're a freak, look at you, got something growing on your nose, on your face. And this guy thinks, whoa, weirdo man, he's not got a nose and he's laughing at me. But when he goes further into the kingdom, every person he meets laughs at him. Allah, what's happened to your face? You got a growth on your face. And he's trying to explain to people, no, this is normal, this is normal. They say, oh, you're a freak. They're calling him an oddbod. Eventually, 3 days of living there, he gets, so every shop he goes into, every park he goes into, everyone's laughing at him. He's a laughing stock, even though he's a normal person. Eventually, the peer pressure gets to him. He gets a razor blade, goes into a back street and chops off his nose as well. just to fit in with everyone. Yeah? Because he thought he was an oddbod. But in reality, he was normal. Sahaba kiram were normal. Sahabiyat were normal. They were the true humans. They were the true slaves of Allah. They were the true mu'min. We're the oddbods. We're the oddbods. But what's happened is we've made this freakish behavior, this crazy life of ours, which we adopted from the non-Muslims. Ask your nanny, when was the last time she went on holiday? When we were kids in school, and I'm not that old, we'd go after 2 weeks holiday, Bolton holidays, Christmas holidays, yeah? They'd ask us, English friends would ask us. In those days, Haywood School was 80% Gorias. Yeah, we hadn't taken over by then, you know. Fateh Mubin had happened. Yeah? So, the English friends, they go, did you go anywhere on holiday? So we go, yeah, I went Bradford. Oh, okay. To my cousin's house. Not really a cousin, but you know, all the huggers are cousins, yeah? And then you ask them, where do you go? Oh, we're at Tenerife. Yeah? What? We're at Marbella. Yeah? We're at Ibiza. And all this. Us guys, we're like, I still don't know where half of these places are. Yeah? You come home and you scratch your head and you say, wow. And you come home and you tell your mum and your dad. And you tell your Mauli Sahib. And they, you know what they used to say? Is that, bhai, apne Musalman se. We don't do that. We don't earn like crazy and go and blow your money on a holiday. We earn money and we go out in the path of Allah. We help the poor. Apne uni kariye. Yeah? Then in class, they're like talking, and then like one girl, she goes, my mum's boyfriend bought me a doll's house. And you're like, astaghfirullah. Yeah? Because you've gone from Sunninghill School where it's all Aprawalas, never been exposed to Gorias, and then first year, year 7 in Haywood, secondary school, you're surrounded by Gorias. And they talk about their thing, their lifestyle. My mom's boyfriend, your mom's got a boyfriend, astaghfirullah. Yeah, my mom and dad, they split up, so my mom's got a boyfriend. And you're like, oh, and you go home and you tell your mom, guess what? And then in class one day, the boy goes to the teacher, oh, you're my sister, Mandy, she's pregnant. Having a baby. Oh, that's so cute. And you think, Monday? Isn't she in year 8? Oh, yeah. Astaghfirullah. Yeah? And you used to hear these things and you used to be disgusted and shocked, thinking, what kind of life is that? That's not a life of a human being. You go and tell your parents and your Mauli Sahibs and they'll explain to you, bhai, no, apne alag se. We have a deen. We have a way of life. We don't do these things. But today, that what we saw as freakish, wrong, odd behavior, unfortunately we made it acceptable. So Muslims say the craziest things. Now they say to Mauli Sahib, mashallah, mari chokri, kampar, mashallah, they've teamed her up. They've made teams. John, in a partner, bo haro chokro se. Ini nazar kharab nati. Yeah? And they do night shift together. They have to stay over at night. But Masa Allah na shukar cha, alhamdulillah, bo haro chokro. Yeah? I'm not fearful for my daughter at all. And he's bragging about it. Yeah? Masa, my son's bought this house, mashallah. Mortgage bo haru mairu. Ya Allah. Yeah? Masa, my daughter's doing this and that. Ya Allah. What about his namaz? What about her namaz? What about parda, burkha? What about going in the path of Allah? But no. And then if you go and say, you know, if your wife does parda, yeah, my wife does parda, women come to her and say, Mauli Sahib bahut ghalat hai. Yeah? They've never met me. Yeah? One woman met my wife in the park and she goes, why don't you go to work? Is it your husband? Does he not let you go to work? She goes, no, I don't want to go to work. No, it must be your husband. You know, let me give you a number. Yeah? Domestic violence and all. She goes, no. Marta, alhamdulillah. Unto gharni rani chho. I don't earn, my husband earns. I don't have to ask for money. It rains money on me. Yeah? Which is how our daughters, our sisters were brought up back in the days. Back in the days, if a sister said to her husband, if your mom, she would not dare, or your grandma said to her husband, "Mane kaam par jaut." Yeah? They would not dare say it. Yeah? Why? Because they say, bhai, tu to gharni rani chhe. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala was a queen of her household. We have been told to honor our mothers and daughters. We can't have you going out and everyone gawping at you and benefiting from you and flirting with you, unutilizing you. All your faculties, all your efforts, everything goes into the company. You come home, good for nothing, physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, got no time for your kids. Put them to sleep, my son, put them to sleep. When does your kid ever get to see your face? Because when you're going to work, he's asleep. I see you carrying him out in his car seat, he's asleep. When you pick him up at night from your mom's, on your way back from work, he's asleep. He doesn't get to see your face. The mother. And our mothers, we used to come home from school, walk in, smell of bhajiyas, samosas, come on, le beta kha. Sometimes those chocolate animal biscuits laid out in a plate. Tar tar, ay taru cha. Garam garam masala, aadu wali chai. Pure beta, pure. Scooby Doo Joe. Cartoon jo, madrasa jao, lao. Our parents, our mothers were there for us. Because the mother's lap is a child's first madrasa. I know so many people who never went to madrasa. And they're more deendar than any of us. Because back in the days, in the Sahaba Kiram's time, who were the madrasas, who were the alimas, who were the maulisabs? The mothers. And in this day and age, I know people who never went to madrasa, but they stayed with their mother. Their mother made them hafiza, alima. Why? Because she wasn't shopping, kompar, maja, dosa, milkshake, shisha. I'm not having to go at you sisters. This is a fault of the men. That they didn't teach the sisters. Look, you're the queen of my house. One of my friends, he got married, his wife, because she came from the background, she goes, I want to go to work. He sat her down and he said, listen, I married you not as my wife, but as a mother of my children. When I came to choose you, I was not thinking, oh yeah, she's got to have the figure and all that sort of stuff. I wasn't looking for myself. I was looking for the mother of my children and for the guide for the ummah. That's why I chose you. You were a queen in my sight, and you're the queen of my heart. And I don't want you going out. A queen never works. Whatever you need, I'm here for you. That's my responsibility. I will provide for you. In the meantime, you stay at home, you learn the deen, you propagate the deen. And that kind of woman, you know what she does? I'll give you the other example. Our women, our men, you know how they are. A guy comes to my house, oh, Maulvi Sahib, sofa bohar lita. I said, yeah, it only cost me 5 grand. Only, 5 grand. Yeah? Your dad, he never bought a car for more than 5 grand. Or 500 quid even. Yeah? Oh, Maulvi Sahib, yeah? Bohar sofa. Yeah. So I won't just tell him, but I'll sell him to him. Even though that sofa shop isn't mine. But I'll give him dawat for dunya. I say, oh yeah, bro, I've been to your house. Your sofas, they're getting a bit tacky, innit? Masa, what are you talking about? I've only had them 2 years. Come on, bro, move with the times. Move with the times. So I'm giving him targheeb. He's leaving my house with more muhabbat for the dunya. One sister is going to another sister's house and she looks at the sofa, oh, kitla harja, and she's pahwaring the sofa. She's stroking the sofa, oh, they're really nice, really nice. And the other sister, she goes, yeah, your sofas, they're out there, and your wallpaper. Listen, I didn't want to say this, but because you're my friend, I'll tell you now. Yeah, I know it, your kitchen is out there. And I didn't want to tell you, but now that you brought it up, don't be offended, sister, I love you and everything. Hun, come on, hon, I'm only telling you. She goes, yeah, but we're struggling. Oh, don't worry about that. Get your husband to get another job. Yeah. Why don't you get a job? Why do you become a dinner lady? And all that. Targheeb is going on for dunya. Yeah. And I'll give you live examples that I know of. And there are millions of examples like this. In Preston, I say grudgingly, and Bolton, and everywhere in the whole dunya. One woman comes to another woman's house. She sees they bought new sofas because it was zarurat. They needed them. She goes, oh sister, mashallah, kitna ha sofa hai? She goes, yeah, bas dua karo, zarurat hai. But I'm not going to take it with me when I go. And mashallah, I've been to your house, your sofas are better than mine. Yeah? Ben mane bhi kabar ma jawanu, tamune kabar ma jawanu. Yeah? And there ain't going to be no cushions or sofas or blankets in the qabr. What have you done? What have I done? Let's make fikr for the deen, for our akhirat. That sister leaves that house with less muhabbat for the dunya, no aspirations for getting new sofas. She goes back with the fikr of akhirat, love of Allah, love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is how much potential you sisters have done. You sisters have got. And the brothers have done a travesty. The men have done a great wrong to our sisters, in which they've not told them. They've told them, masala dosa banao, nihari banao, paya banao. Tukta ne khana, pelini wife ne to khana puri, peli bel puri banao average. Yeah, chana puri. Why can you not make that? Yeah, his wife makes khamri. What's wrong with you? He's getting her onto that. Yeah. His wife goes to work. Why don't you go to work? My dad brought me up like this. He told me we don't go to work and stuff. Now I forget your dad. Kaam par jani. Help me out. Help me out. You know, one guy, his wife was in full parda and he was working. And then next thing I know, his wife, because she had a lot of respect for me for some reason, and the whole family did, yeah. We had ta'alluq. So she sent a message. She wanted to go to work. All of a sudden, out of the blue, she wants to go to work. So he goes, hang on, I don't know, man. This is new for me. I don't know. Nobody in my family goes to work, but she's insisting. So he goes, why don't we ask Mawli Usman? So she, because she respects, she goes, okay, go on. So he came and asked me. So I said, listen, because the sister knows me and because we have a connection and because she knows what a nutter I am, she knows what kind of answer I'm going to give. I'm not going to give a favorable answer. She's not going to like it, but because of respect, she'll accept it. I said, you know what? Let me give you an example. Because she's thinking that I'll bring money in and it'll help my husband to pay off the house and the car and whatever, yeah, and to get a better holiday or whatever, yeah. So I'm aiding my husband. I gave her an example. I said, you know, in your house you've made faludo. Faludo, the Gujarati faludo, which is a drink. No, the Pakistani faludo, which is a drink. Our Gujarati faludo is jelly. Yeah, so I'm talking about the drink, milkshake, yeah. You made pink faludo with ice cream, vanilla and all that, and badam and all that, yeah? Because you got your brother's family coming over from Birmingham or somewhere, yeah? So you made that, yeah? And you've made chicken roast and all this, dawat, yeah? Next thing, they turn up and mashallah, you welcome. So now you've made this faludo enough for your family and their family, yeah? Next thing, your other sister, surprise! They decide to turn up from London as well, yeah? Unannounced. So you're like, oh, mashallah, yeah, room for everyone, But now you think, what the heck, man? Could have at least phoned us, could have told us. Now, you've made 8 glasses of faludo, measured. Enough for yourself, enough for your brother's family. Yeah? Big glasses. Yeah? And you put the straw in and the ice cream and all that, yeah? Now, you need 12 glasses. You have 2 options. You can either pour it all back in the pot, add a few pints of water to it, and pour it out in the same size glasses, yeah? And it's enough to stretch around to everyone. But it's spoiled, inferior quality, you've destroyed it. Or you can get smaller glasses, 12 glasses, pour less in, high quality, premium milkshake, premium faluda, enough to go around to everyone, everyone's happy. Yeah? 2 options. Which option will you go for? Yeah? Obviously, an intelligent person will say, okay, ochu che, but haru che. So I said in the same way, your husband's kamai, earning might be less. It's not nowadays anyway. Yeah, it's never enough for us. But it's, alhamdulillah, all of us, yeah, people have, even person working on the tills is mashallah bringing in a good, and these taxi drivers, oh subhanallah, yeah, people are bringing in fat packets. It's never enough for us, but you know, that's because we're not shukre. Your husband's kamai, his earning is less, but it's barakati. Why? Because when he goes out to earn for you, for his queen, and for his princes and princesses, his children, Man amsa kalam bi amali yadihi, amsa maghfuran lahu. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he comes home exhausted, he lies down on the sofa with his shoes on, he crashes out, has a bit of a nap. When his fatigue goes away, along with that, his sins get shed as well. Why? Because he was in the path of Allah. Allahu Akbar. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a man earning his livelihood for his wife and kids to support them, he's in the path of Allah. He's earning reward. The help of Allah is with him, providing he's earning halal. The help of Allah is with him. The pay packet is bringing in is less, but it's premium quality. It's going to go very far because it's barakati. Now, sister, if you want to go out and earn, yeah, you're going to sink the ship for him. Yeah, you're going to bring in kamai. But if you are not doing it according to the rules that I didn't make up, a Maulvi Sahib didn't make up, your Allah made up, whether you like it or not. And if you can earn by those rules, and first and foremost, you're only allowed to go out to earn in dire situations when there's no one to provide for you. Allah forbid, husband's gone, dad's gone, brother's gone, all passed away, and then she got no choice. Otherwise, just so you can afford a better handbag, you're going to have to check what Shariat says about that. You can't just go out on a whim. So now you're going out, so it's not 100% halal. Your way of life, maybe the earning is, but the way of life, somebody looks at you, you not got parda. So now the money that you're bringing in is tainted. So what you're going to do is your husband's 100% halal barakati kamai, you go and throw, it's like faluda and you put a few drops of urine or a few pints of water in it. You pollute, you sunk the whole lot, destroyed the whole lot. Je barakat uti. And you know what I'm talking about? It's not fairy tales. You sisters, you brothers, in your towns, whether Preston, Bolton, anywhere, there are examples. Your Imam Sahib, you sisters go and speak to his wife. Maulvi Sahib ne kitla malish? 200 quid a week. I think he's gone up now. They got pay rise, 205. That far away. Yeah, I was working in a madrasa. I used to get 30 quid, yeah. And then they just kept on loading kids onto me. I ended up with something like 60 kids in my class. So I went to complain. So my complaint, they misunderstood it. I was like trying to tell them that, come on, cut the size down. Yeah, give me a reasonable size class. So they thought I went to complain what everyone complains for. Money, pesu, pesu, pesu. It wasn't about that. So they said, Mausab, we'll sort you out. The next week on Friday, when the guy came to give me the paycheck, yeah, the pay packet, it was heavy. I thought, what's this? So I opened it, pulled the 30 quid out, and there was jingle, emptied it, £2 coins. 32 pound pay rise for 30 extra kids. Yeah? But alhamdulillah, these Maulvi Sahibs, you never see him complaining. You never see their wives complaining. And you know what? The Maulvi Sahib and the Appa, they got more kids than us. Yeah? And they, mashallah, better tabiyat than us. Khata pita, maza. They sleep better than us. And Allah spreads that money. Why? Because barakati. You got an alima, she's teaching according to the requirements and everything. Mashallah, she's got barakat in that money. Yeah? So brother, so that I sent this message to that sister. But you know, sometimes they say in English, advice most needed is least heeded. Where is needed most, that's where people give it up. This woman, she was in full parda, this sister, and she didn't take my advice. That was the first time she didn't take my advice. And that was the last time I advised them. She now has discarded her parda. It's been many years and she's full work, climbed up the career ladder. The company got a really good employee. But the children lost a mother. The children lost a mother. The grandchildren lost a grandma. We don't see that. Right now, you brothers, there's some brothers crying. Sisters might be crying, people nodding their heads. But ask you on Tuesday night, and we'll be back to normal. We'll be thinking, oh, that guy was a nutter, talking nonsense, chat bubbles. Do you understand, sisters and brothers? What I'm saying, you know, if you spend your time well in Jamaat, you know what I'm saying is 100% sense, common sense. Because it's our deen, it's heavenly, it's celestial, it's the right way, it's the advice from Allah. This life that you've lived for the last 2 days, that's a real life. That's how we were supposed to be. Wake up in the morning, pray tahajjud namaz, cry in front of Allah, go into sajda, bond with Allah, feel alive, pray Yasin Sharif, pray Quran, do zikr, pray Fajr namaz, listen to the talk, go to sleep for a bit, wake up, pray chash, taaleem. This is our everyday was supposed to be like that. What a travesty. My sister, my wife, you ask our sister, you ask them, what's your day? Get up, check my phone, do a bit of online shopping, send the kids off, get rid of them, go back to sleep, wake up, yeah, prepare the arto for masala dosa, go get the meat for the paya, yeah, and check a few recipes, yeah, look for holiday destinations, yeah, phone around, do a bit of ghibat, tari mari and all that. Not having a go at sisters, but men are worse anyway, yeah. And that's what our life is. Na namaz, na durud, na Allah, na Rasul, na Aisha, na Fatima radiyallahu anhuwa. I say to people, and it's the honest truth. You know the difference between me and a lot of people is that I'm a loser, but I'm an honest loser. I admit when I'm wrong. I tell people, for example, the youngsters, this doesn't apply to you sisters so much. When I go in Jama'ah, I don't take my phone with me. I tell people, whether I go 4 months, 4 days, I don't take my phone with me. And I tell people the reason why that is because I'm addicted to my phone. You won't find many people like me that'll admit it. But there's loads of people sitting here right now, yeah, you're addicted. But you'll never admit it. At least I'm not a sore loser. At least I tell you when I'm wrong. Yeah? And admittance is the first, you know, in Alcoholics Anonymous in rehab, yeah? First step, what do they make them do? Acknowledge, they have to stand up, my name's Derek and I'm an alcoholic. Yeah? I went to Barbados, yeah? I got friends in Barbados, classmates. So one Maulana friend of mine, he goes to me, you know, you tabligis, you talk about not taking your phones and all that, yeah? I goes, I don't talk about it, I've heard it from the elders. He goes, because some of these Gorias, these non-Muslims, they've taken it on board. He goes, in Barbados, and you know what Barbados is, isn't it? It's a holiday resort. He said, people come from England and America for a weekend to detox from social media. He goes, customers, they come in their droves. I see them all the time. And they signed up for this program, 1,500 quid, 2,000 quid for a weekend. Men and women, they come in, executives, high profile people. And they come and they have to bank their phone and they listen to lectures and then they have to do yoga and meditation and they come on the beach and they do meditation and everything and detox themselves, try to get off the addiction of the phone. He was amazed by it. I said, yeah, I can understand. He said, Masa, and it's a really popular thing. They're making a killing from this. Now, I thought it wouldn't take off, but it's the thing. I said, yeah, I can understand. I can believe it. Then I said, I did a footnote to him because I live on the ground floor. I live on ground zero. Yeah. So I know. I said, you know what? But you'll never get any aprawalas coming from our communities. Mark my words, you won't see aprawala in there or aprawali. He said, why not? And you brothers and sisters might be offended by what I say, but it's the truth. I said, because for many years I've been preaching this, but I've yet to come across people, illa mashallah, who actually admit that they've got a problem. No, Allah, put your phone away, man. Before namaz, you had your phone out. After namaz, you got your phone out. You got a bloody problem. You come out of the toilet, you got your phone in your hand. Allah, you got, no, I wasn't. You're not admitting you got a problem. I said, you won't get aprawalas coming. Why? Because aprawalas will not admit. Mauli Sahib is making an announcement by, and I'm not more than the sisters, I'm talking about the brothers. Worst thing in the masjids. Imam Sahib is making an alarm by, leave your phones at home. People get heart attacks on that. What's he talking about? Leave it at home. Huh? I said, I'm a worse Maulvi than that. I tell you, leave it at home when you go Jamaat. Forget namaz. Namaz is 5 minutes. I'm telling you to leave it when you go for weekend. 4 days, 4 months, leave it at home. Bro, you got a problem, right? So sisters, we have to make a U-turn. and understand, and brothers, that Allah has given us a taste, a little taster of what we were, what we're supposed to be, how we were supposed to be, how we were supposed to think, how we were supposed to shop, how we were supposed to look, how our houses were supposed to be. Simplicity. Hafiz Patel Sahib Rahmatullah, when the Mahana Mashwara used to take place, there used to be like taqazas for Jamaats to go Guinea, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, Barbados, Trinidad, everything. And we were students. I used to be sitting there thinking, Qasam, I'm ready for everyone, man. I want to go. And I used to make dua, Allah make me leave madrasa so I start earning money. I'd go, if I had the money, I'd go everywhere. And people didn't used to get up. And it used to baffle me that a person going out in the path of Allah, he's going to get to see, or she's going to get to see that country as well. And they'll be in the path of Allah, they're going to earn their sawab, and they're going to get Jannat and closeness to Allah. How can somebody not be ready to go in Jama'at? It used to baffle me. Then Hafiz Patel Sahib, because he lived on ground zero, he knew. He hit the nail on the head for me and for you. What did he say? Oh Musalmano, tumhare aish ke naqshe tumhe nikalne nahi dete. You made such a comfortable life for yourself at home. You've made your house into Taj Mahal, Sheesh Mahal. Yeah? A guy came round measuring my kitchen. He goes, Masab, budget kitli chhe samari? I goes, $2,000. He goes, Masab, I'm asking for the whole thing, not just for the oven and the thing. I go, he doida 2,000 ma thatu to kari le niya. He said, Masab, it'll be a stretch. It'll be simple. I said, I didn't expect Taj Mahal, did I? But I need running water, I need a gas, I need a worktop. Bizu hote. Yeah? Back in the day, what did your mother use? Hygiene units. Everyone's the same color, same style, same handles. Yeah? And I know one woman, she's in Preston. My auntie. Even now she's got her kitchen from 35 years ago. The doors are hanging off. Yeah? But in that kitchen, thousands, if not tens of thousands of people have eaten. Muslims as well as non-Muslims. When my uncle passed away, non-Muslims were ringing from abroad even, saying, Kazee bhai, Kazee bhai. We used to come over, we used to sleep in his house. We were guests. And the dastakhan was out for us all the time. Nowadays, 10,000, 20,000 pound kitchen. Can't send food to their own mother, to their own brother. And then I reminded him, I goes, my auntie had a 150 quid kitchen, but she earned her Jannat through that kitchen. And you've got this, but do you understand, brothers and sisters? I'm just being honest. Because you, sisters, I can talk to you plainly, because you know what I'm talking about, because you're on the level right now. You won't be Tuesday, but right now you are. I hope you will be on Tuesday. I hope it's not gone by Monday even. Yeah? But, you see, so now what do I and you need to do? I've tasted the real life. I realize I'm the freak. The world's the freak. When the blind lead the blind, all shall fall in the ditch. The world is being led by blind people. Normal was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Normal Sahaba Ikram. Normal Sahabiyat. The seeing. The people with a vision, with a mission, with real lives were the Sahaba and the Sahabiyat. And Allah Ta'ala has given me a little taster. So what do I need to do? I need to go back home and I need to implement that in my family. And I need to get out in the path of Allah again, ASAP. And not just for 3 days. We don't even do 3 days, we do 2 days. And the brothers in this Jamaat, sisters, I'll tell you, they were thinking of running away after Asr. We had to stop them. So you stay until after Isha. Only joke here. Roti nahi mal se bach, yeah. MashaAllah, yeah. So we're not doing 3 days anyway, but we need to be spending more time. You sisters need to make intention 40 days. You need to get your husbands ready for 4 months to keep it alive. Send your husbands every day, they come home from work, have the mashallah chocolate animal biscuits and the masala dosa, whatever, bhajia are ready for them, garam adu wali chai, and then say, right, I've done that for you. You're not putting your feet up, go. Gush ma jao. It's gush time. What do you sisters do if your husband comes down on a Monday morning, has his breakfast and puts his feet up? What about work? I'm not going anymore. Yeah? He'd be filing. Straight up. I don't want to be, what the heck? Nikrota me hita hita. You know, he'd kick off a stink. So here, why is he not going for the work of Allah? So you get your fingers ready. You know, there are women, sisters, Allahu Akbar. You know, I don't usually like to do bayan in sisters, yeah, because it's difficult. It's like talking to ghosts, yeah, because there's no one in front of you. Here, mashallah, there's brothers, but sometimes there's no one. You're just talking to a curtain. But the thing that really impresses me is when the Karguzaris come, sisters, when they take it on board, they leave the men for dead. I know so many guys who spent 4 months, yeah, and their wives have only spent 40 days, but the guys are nowhere near. And the sisters came afterwards, yeah, got into tabligh afterwards, but they left their husbands for dead. Why? Because Allah Ta'ala has endowed you sisters with qualities. You take on board easily, you're soft-hearted, you have the power of persuasion. But today sisters are utilizing that power of persuasion to persuade the man to earn more dunya. Yeah. So many stories I could tell you. Yeah. Even when a sister, I know how where I'm going. Even when a sister is only doing it part-time, yeah, she's not doing niqab, parda full-time, she's only doing it part-time because she's going in Jamaat. I'll tell you a story of that. One sister, she's educated, a professional, yeah. So her husband, you know, worked many months trying to convince her, did talim in the home, targheeb, and he's going in the path of Allah. Eventually, she agreed, yeah, for a diamond ring. She agreed, whatever it was, yeah. She agreed to go for a weekend Jamaat. I hope I'm not giving you ideas, sisters, yeah. You don't get diamond rings, yeah. Our Sahib is in Akhirat. These guys looking worried here, yeah. Anyway, so she got ready to go. So, mashallah, he'd make good effort on her, so eventually she agreed. Then he went and told the guys in the masjid and everything. They said, okay, no problem. But then they said, by rule from Markaz, from our elders, is a woman, even if she's not doing parda, she has to do parda in order to qualify to go in the path of Allah. So she done the niqab. She reluctantly, at first she said no. So the husband said, no, then you can't go Jamaat and all this. So eventually she agreed. So just for the sake of the Jamaat, she wore the parda. So it wasn't true, genuine fear of Allah, sunnat of the sahabiyat or anything like that. She's just doing it to qualify for the thing. She went in Jamaat, but because this was a qurbani on her part, it's a massive thing for a woman to put a parda on. I know sisters message me and they say, Masab, make dua, this is it, my first day. I'm only telling you because you're my brother, you'll make dua for me and everything. Yeah. And then they report back, I say, Masab, I felt so like under pressure when I went to town. I thought everyone's looking at me and all this sort of stuff. I said, sisters, nobody looking at you, only Allah Ta'ala smiling down on you. Don't worry about it. Yeah. And eventually, then she reports back and says, Masab, Alhamdulillah, best decision ever. I said, Allah Ta'ala bless you and Allah Ta'ala grant me Jannat because of your sacrifice. A massive sacrifice all this is. So this professional woman, she's not doing it. So it's an even bigger sacrifice. She went to Jamaat. They went to, like from Bolton to Preston. Yeah. So you know the girl, she has a charismatic person, she's professional. So you know local sisters, when they came, they gelled with her, young girls gelled with her. Yeah, they just found her talk nice. Now because she was hearing the talim and targheeb and bayans and she'd heard loads from her husband, so they said, give us dawat. So they thought she's some appa. So she just started regurgitating what she'd heard. And these girls are really attracted. So they went and called other girls. Eventually, like loads of girls are coming. Yeah, and they're like flocking around her. Yeah, and she's giving them targheeb and everything. Yeah, so she's really taken aback as well. They're thinking she's some appa. Yeah, but she's thinking I'm nothing. Yeah, and she couldn't tell them that I don't really do parda. I'm just doing it for a thing. But they just got this impression of her. Anyway, we went back into a locality. Then she took her parda off. Yeah, and she went back to work and whatever. Few months later, a Jamaat from that locality came. Yeah, and they goes that this is the first time from our masjid Jamaat has come out, Masturat Jamaat. And it's all because of you, sister. Because you came, you were such an inspiration for us. And you know what? Because of you doing parda, we saw that you're educated, you're professional, British born and bred, and you do parda. We thought to ourselves, we felt disgusted with ourselves, embarrassed that if she couldn't do it, why can't we do it? They said 12 women have started doing parda because of you. And Three of our sisters are out in 10 days right now. That's why they couldn't come. One sister's out for 40 days because of you. So this sister, she started crying. She went to her husband. She goes, I'm such a hypocrite. These sisters are hanging on my every word and they've changed their lives because of me. So husband goes, Hu karwani? She goes, I'm doing parda from now on as well. So she became the means of herself doing parda and other sisters doing. This is how valuable you sisters are. But all your salahiyat, all your faculties, all your intelligence, all your skill is getting wasted on making cupcakes, wedding cakes, masala dosa, paya, and everyone wants to sell stuff. And that's all it is. Allah have mercy on us. Forgive me if I said I might have offended you. Forgive me, but these are things. I don't just want to walk away from here and wrap this bayan up. I know I've given myself and yourself a lot of food for thought. Sisters, go back to your localities, a changed person. Not just a changed person, a changed household, changed regime, changed tartib. Yeah? Have a different setup in your house. Next time your husband comes to you and say, where are we going on holiday? Say, what are you talking about, holiday? Chillat majao hida, we're going Jama'. Oh, let's go shopping this weekend. No, let's go Jama'. Or let's watch a film. No, let's do Talim. This is what you sisters can do. You can change. If you change, if you educate a man, you educate a person. If you educate a girl, you educate a nation. You girls, and we've not got time. Farooq Bhai is about to lynch me. Yeah? But when you open the Hadith Kitab, you find that one Sahabiya changed nations. Read the story of Khansa radiallahu ta'ala anha. Nations they changed. And she was Khansa look on Wikipedia, it says she was a famous poetess. She was a celebrity of her day. She was like a true known in the whole world. She is famous and she sacrificed that fame. Musab bin Umair sacrificed his youth and his wealth. In this day and age, whichever sister sacrifices her beauty for the sake of Allah. Like many sisters say, I'm too beautiful, I can't possibly hide my beauty from the world, I'm an influencer. No, for the sake of Allah, I'm not going to show myself. Dr. Apa was one old worker, yeah. She's passed away, Allah grant her Jannat. She came to England many times, she went in the whole world. She was one woman, she changed so many lives. Before she passed away, her brother saw a dream. He's walking in a garden, it's beautiful and everything. There's a high wall. And the place where he's walking, that's beautiful and luxurious and fragrant and everything. But he can tell from behind the wall there's something else, even more amazing. There's effulgence and nur and everything coming. So he kept on walking, trying to find the gate. He couldn't find it. So he met an angel. He said, what's this? He goes, you're in Jannat. He said, what's behind the wall? I want to go behind the wall. He goes, you can't. He goes, why not? He goes, Allah Ta'ala has protected it. No one, not even an angel has been inside. Allah Ta'ala has made it with his own hands. So what is it? He said, it's your sister's Jannat. No man has ever seen your sister. No man will ever see your sister's Jannat or angel will see until she comes into it. When she comes, the door will open up, she'll go inside. She kept herself in parda, Allah kept her Jannat in parda. Right now, sisters, brothers, angels, Allah Ta'ala smiling down on you because you're in the path of Allah, you're guests of Allah, doing the work of Allah. Please, for Allah's sake, don't go back tonight and go back to our old ways. Allah's given us an opening, the transfer window is open. Go back, change people. Go back, change yourself, change your household. Take down all the extra frilly bits in our houses, yeah, the stuff that's not needed, yeah, and bring on to simplicity. Take down the big heavy menus. Come on to kari kheer, dal chawal, simplicity. Why? Because Maulana Sayyid Khan Sahib say in a Muslim house, pottage should be cooked once and eaten twice. I can't say that sitting on Ashrafiya Masjid's mimbar. I'd get lynched for saying that. People couldn't accept that. Mausab kevi baat karo, kanjoos hara, tame ganda thai gaya. Mari wife ne masala dosa paya aur inni hari. Who ando che? Be time kon khai? Fakir thai gaya tame. Fakir. But no, what did he say? The pottage should be simple. In fact, he used to say make dar, make it 2 times. Eat it hour and hunch. Yeah? Why? Because then the sister will have a lot of time left over. Not for surfing, but for propagating and learning the deen of Allah. This is a maqsad of our lives, brothers and sisters. So mashallah, you've made a massive sacrifice. Allah Ta'ala has endowed you. I'm sure your hearts are melted and the nur of hidayat has gone inside. Don't, for Allah's sake, shut it off. Don't go back. Don't become a freak again. Let's not become oddbods again. Let's become the normal people. Let's set the standard for the world. Go back with good intentions. Start your taaleem, weekly taaleem. Become punctual with that. Take other sisters along and start going out in the path of Allah. From tomorrow, start giving targheeb to your friends, to your sisters, to your neighbors, to go out in the path of Allah. And the Christmas holidays are coming up. Start making effort on your brothers, your sons, your male folk. Tell them, forget 3 days, you're not a girl, are you? Yeah, 10 days. 10 days, full whack, without your phones. Without your phones. Subhanallah wa bihamdih. Jazakallah, forgive me. Subhanallah. So sisters, inshallah, we're going to just make a dua now. After that, sisters requested to make tashkil. 1 or 2 sisters will write their names. Other sisters, for Allah's sake, inshallah, give your names for 40 days, 10 days in the Christmas holidays. 10 days Christmas holidays, send your youngsters. Don't go in Masturat Jamaat. But in other times, make intention for 10 days and 3 days. Huh? And next weekend there's a Jamaat going as well from Masjid Falah. So get your names down for that as well. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas samiul alim. Wa tub alayna innaka antat tawwabur rahim. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.